Welcome to Dead Man Talking. Tonight's show has been sent in by my dear friend and author, once again, Rixryu3. And I think you guys are going to really enjoy this one. Of course, please do let me know down below in the comments. As ever, please do like and share. Without further ado, let's get into tonight's story, entitled Life in Hindsight. Let's get straight into that. I have been in my room for what seems like days. The thing in my cabin won't leave. I can hear it at times attempting to get through my door. I know it knows I'm here, somewhere. It's only a matter of time till it finds its way in. I first came to the cabin about 2 weeks ago. It is summer, and I needed a break from my job as the football coach at the high school. Those punks are always looking for some way to get in trouble. The assistant coach and I were discussing vacation ideas when he told me about an old hunting cabin that he and his dad and uncle would use when they went hunting each fall. It was deserted the rest of the year, and he said I could use it to get away from the day-to-day crap and distress. I took him up on his offer after our star quarterback decided it was a good idea to steal the sheriff's cruiser and joyride it into a hydrant. Perks of being a small town in Texas meant that as long as he pushed extra hard during summer practice and he kept his nose clean, the sheriff would overlook the crime. In Texas, football is a religion, not a sport. I had my fill and left that weekend, leaving the team in the capable hands of the assistant coach. The first day was busy as I unloaded supplies and settled in. The cabin was comprised of a small but comfortable bathroom, 2 bedrooms that were basically closets that could fit a single-sized mattress, a kitchen that was also the living area and held a large rough-looking hide-a-bed couch, 2 recliners, couple of end tables, lamps, and the dining table. Hot water was a plus, but I had to pump the water and stoke a fire to utilise it. Stove and water heater were all wood burners. The only modern tech I would find was the solar panels that fed the fridge and lamps. Other than that, it was fairly comfortable. I finished right after the sun went down. Had a few beers while caught up on some magazines I had been neglecting. Then I lumbered off to bed. The first night was pleasant enough. I was amazed by the sounds of nature around me. Hearing some animals rummaging around the cabin, I figured they could smell the remains of my dinner that night. The next day, I spent fishing at the small lake nearby. I caught a couple of fish that weren't worth keeping, and lost the rest of my bait to the ducks that decided to run guerrilla warfare on my little bit of a pier. Deciding to call fishing a lost cause, I packed up my tackle and pole and made my way to the cabin for some lunch. On the way, I heard what I could only think of as a badger, or possibly a wolverine. It was under the foliage and rooting around. I didn't see it, but I couldn't think it being anything else due to the apparent size. Ignoring it and keeping my distance, I went along my way. That night, I heard scraping at my door and along the outside boards. Thinking back to the badger-like animal earlier, I just ignored it. It soon went away, and I soon forgot about it. The next day, I decided to take a dip in the lake. It was cold and refreshing. I swam a good distance from the shore to a little rock island that poked above the waters. It wasn't bigger than 5 feet in angle, and it only came a foot out the water, but made for a great spot to lay in the sun and take in the beauty around me. I was gazing around me when I noticed that something was close to the pier. It didn't look very big. It was dark in colour from what I could see. I thought it must be my badger friend being curious again. I went back to enjoying the warm sun and the peace and quiet. When the sun went behind the trees, I made my way back to shore. It was then that I discovered that my clothes were scattered around, and some were even in the water. My shirt was torn and muddy. Damn badger, I thought to myself as I gathered up my belongings. I heard in the distance a sound I never heard before. It was like a hissing growl. As my brain registered the noise, a chill went up my spine, and I broke out in goosebumps along my arms, not wanting to seem afraid or of a silly noise, but wanting to get away from whatever made the noise. I quickly took myself back to the cabin and locked the door behind me. Later, that night, after dinner, I had curled up with a book and was about to nod off, mid-chapter, when I heard the scratching around the door and under the windows again. This time, I heard that hissing growl again. This irked me. I grabbed my flashlight and went to investigate. From the inside of the cabin, though, as I walked to the window and the light, I heard the sound loud and clear. Peering out of the window, I saw a shape moving around. It was the size of a man and looked like a man, but not like a man. Its skin was pale grey and wrinkled. It had no hair that I could see. It was naked and crouched. The fingers were human-like, but wide and muscular with thick, pointed nails. The ears were elf-like and almost flat to the head. God, when I saw the face, I almost passed out. The nose was flat like a pig. Its cheeks were sallow. The eyes were milk white, were apparently blind. The mouth was the worst. All its teeth were sharp. Most of the teeth were chipped or broken and muddy. Dripping from its gnarled lips was what could only be described as blood. It was like a corpse had crawled from a grave. I panicked and backed up. I realised that it couldn't sense light because it never reacted to the light, but I still turned the lights down, just in case. While I killed the lights, I lost sight of the thing outside. I couldn't hear it either. I made my way to the bedroom, thinking I was going to get in my car at the first opportunity. As I went into the bedroom, though, I heard scratching. Again, but this time it was from under the cabin. I only had to just realise that the scratching was the thing when it violently broke through the floor. It was inside. I shut the door to the bedroom quietly and locked the door. I would have gone out the window if the only window was large enough for a large man like me. Regretting not staying in shape, I looked for something I could use as a weapon. I knew this thing was stronger than me due to the force it showed breaking through the floor, seemingly with little effort. I was not going to take this thing barehanded. After a quick yet quiet search in my room, I came up with nothing. Nothing that would be of any use as a weapon. I could hear it wandering around the cabin, searching of something. I fear it was in search of food. I fear in search of me. Now I'm starving and thirsty. It rained a couple of times and I took advantage of that the best that I could. Tried to break the window, but the glass won't break. The wood won't give. I'm trapped. I've had to resort to drinking my own piss. The thing hasn't left. I peeked out a couple of times when it got quiet. This just caused the thing to rapidly get to the door and attempted to get through. Oh, the door won't last much longer. I won't last much longer. I black out regularly, each time longer and longer. It works at the door, menacing me. Its hissing growl reminded me of that it knows where I am. I won't last much longer. I think I'll make an attempt to get to the car. It is my only chance. Maybe I can take advantage of its blindness. I think back to my life before I make this stupid attempt. I wish I'd been more kind to my students. I wish I had been a better role model and had taken more interest in their lives instead of just writing them off as a waste of air. Wish I had been less self-absorbed with my dating life, more tolerant of my co-workers and more caring of their lives. I have wasted my life in anger and spite and selfishness. Maybe this is a fitting end to a life that has been wasted. Goodbye, world. You deserved better of me. Wow. Thank you ever so much, Rixryu3. Again, absolutely fantastic writing, gripping stuff. Of course, guys, please let us know what you think down below in the comments. As ever, please do like and share. If you haven't subscribed to DMT, please smash that subscribe button and hit the notification bell to keep up to date with all DMT content. Remember, guys, if you're out in the wilderness or the deep, dense woods, keep your wits about you, your eyes on the trees, and above all, be safe, not sorry.